Picture it. You're on a road trip and in desperate need of fuel. You stop at a Buc-ee's gas station to fill up your tank, but your tummy is yearning for some meat. Upon walking in, there is jerky galore. It feels like hundreds of flavors, hundreds of options to choose from, but what are the ingredients? You mosey on over to the pre-packaged zero sugar option to discover that indeed there are no carbs in the jerky. However, why are there soybeans? Why are there flavorings? What does that even mean? You think to yourself, man, wouldn't it be easier if I just made these myself? At least then I would know exactly what's in my jerky. It's here. You guys, I'm so excited. Welcome back. Today, we are going to be on a journey of making our own beef jerky. Now, to preface, I've never done this before, but we're going to find out together. So stay tuned. The first step is to invest in a good food dehydrator. You can certainly accomplish the same goal in making jerky with just your oven, but our family decided it was worth the investment. I wasn't quite sure what to look for at first since there are a lot of options at the Costco. I decided to spend my time looking at products where food dehydration would be the machine's only purpose. The brand I purchased is Carnivore, and I chose the 6-tray oven. It also received 4.8 stars from over 15,000 reviews, so I take other people's word for it. Let's unbox this thing together. All right, let's open up this bad boy. You guys, the Carnivore box arrived one day after I placed my order. You gotta love Amazon. Here it is. So I believe this is for making fruit leather. And then of course we have 6 of these trays. The package not only came with the necessary accessories, but it was also equipped with a recipe book and owner's manual. All right, enough of this. Let's get started. Who's ready for a pro tip? For my people out there who don't like reading the user manual first, it's important to do it anyways. I'm glad that I did. I regularly do because there are some instructions before you use it for the first time. Like for example, I am going to be wiping down all of these trays, wiping the inside. I'm actually going to turn on the dehydrator without any food items in here. And so I don't want to risk my jerky tasting like a brand new appliance. So we're going to do this for 30 minutes. All right, let's meet and discuss our strategy to purchasing the best beef cut for our jerky. Feel free to take a screenshot of this mock-up here that details which cuts work best. I learned that our focus is to select meat with the leanest cut, so sirloins, rounds, and flanks would totally work. It's definitely opposite of how you would choose your steaks though. You want to avoid the fat or marbling on your meat as the fat will go rancid, ultimately reducing the shelf life of your jerky. You can see I'm at the Costco and I chose the beef eye of round. Let's take a look at the cost breakdown. These were selling for $4.69 a pound, which is super reasonable. Now, how much you buy is up to you. Since we'd be traveling for over a week, we purchased over 12 pounds. For context, 4 pounds of fresh meat turns into roughly 1 pound of jerky. All right, let's get started. Did I mention I'm a noob at this? Just remember, I'm telling you what I have learned and I am not claiming to be an expert. So for example, when cutting your meat, you want to cut against the grain for a less chewy bite. So first identify the natural lines of the meat and cut against it, and you'll find the texture to look something like this. Ideally, you want to slice the meat evenly at around 1/4 inch thick. The evenness allows for a better dehydration experience. So here was my very first cut. I think I could have gone a little bit smaller, but that's what you get for a first time experience. Here is that process again, just cutting it down against the grain, and I'm adding that piece to my pile on the left. Hey guys, I can't believe there are well over 1,000 of you who are so kind to join me on this journey. I absolutely appreciate your support, and I wish I could hug every single one of you who are so kind to leave me positive feedback and suggestions. Not only does it help me, but it certainly helps others. And if you haven't already, please subscribe so we can continue making this channel grow. All right, back to the video. All right, and that's the last of cutting this meat. So next I am seasoning my meat with just salt. Of course, you can add any other ingredients you prefer. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, but since I'm on the carnivore diet, just salt works perfectly for me. So since it's just seasoned with salt, I allow this to marinate in the refrigerator for about an hour. At this point, I am setting up my station so I can add in my slices on each tray. This is kind of the fun part for me because it's almost like putting together pieces of a puzzle. But as you can see, I allowed enough space for my meat in between each slice. So here goes the first tray, and I will continue this process until it's all filled. Now for this dehydration process, I am cooking this at 160 degrees for about 3 hours. At the end of this process, you can see the final result. It was seriously this easy. All right, who's ready for another pro tip? So the best way to store your homemade jerky is either in a Ziploc bag. Make sure that the air is out of the bag. The more air in the bag, the more prone it is to go bad. You could also use an airtight container. You could use glass jars. We have some of those as well. But to get the maximum storage, you're actually gonna wanna put this in your refrigerator. That's right, per the manual, your dried meats should last up to 3 months in the refrigerator or up to a year in the freezer. And I'll catch you on the other side. All right, so we're back, and hours later, here is a sample of the beef jerky that I made. So this is the batch that was cooked at 160 degrees, so let's try it together. I'm gonna actually break it apart. And this is how it tears. All right. Should we bring Cuddles out? So this is just one of my babies. This is Cuddles. And I do have one other baby, and her name is Cuteness. I guess I'll show you her too. And then there were two. All right, so this is Cuteness. This is our first child. And I say ours, this is mine and my boyfriend's. So we have Cuteness and Cuddles. I will show you guys more of these two because I have some fun videos to share with you. And I promise it's carnivore related. I think they smell the jerky. But yeah, these are really good. There are hundreds of recipes I'm sure you can find that offers you so many different seasonings and different selections, sweet, salty, spicy. I simply just seasoned mine with salt. Now, I traditionally don't like to do snacks, but what I'm excited about this beef jerky is we're going on a trip at the end of the week. We're gonna be spending well over 12 hours in a car, and as you can imagine how much fun that is. But also the concern comes up too, which is what snacks are we gonna take with us? So beef jerky would be an excellent snack on the go, whether you're traveling by plane, by car, if you're going hiking. Honestly, you're gonna get your protein. There's not as much fat on here, which is totally fine. I think as long as I can at least get my protein and find other snacks, other foods to give me the fat that I'm needing, this is gonna be excellent. So I really hope this helps you. Just from my first time experience preparing jerky, this certainly won't be the last. So as I find more tips and tricks, I am more than excited to share that with you. Or heck, if you have any tips or tricks for me, please let me know in the comments below what I'm missing out on. All right, guys, as always, thank you so much for sticking with me on this journey, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.